Hey boys, welcome back to Park Ave RC. My name is Richard, and today on the bench we have my latest build. This is what happens in Arizona when you work from home and you're trapped in the garage all day. You start getting ideas in your head, and I thought, I want to build a Monster Maxx Slash. So I did. I built it from a slider I got off of eBay, painted up a body, and she is looking beastly and ready for her maiden voyage. Check that out. We'll walk through all of the things that I've done to it. But just check out the body and the paint job. This is only my second paint job, so, you know, it's a little splotchy, but it's mine. I don't think many people are rocking a sky blue metallic Maxx Slash, so at least it's unique, even though it may be have some imperfections. But let me get this hood off, and we'll talk about what we've got inside here. All right, let's just take a quick look at that. Yeah. All right, so you know what? Let's just start with the electronics. So in here we have a Max 6 combo. The motor is a 1650 kV. I think it's a 4990 sized can. From Hobby Wing, it is censored, and it is, you know, typically used in the X Max and the XRT, something 6th scale. So the fact that this is 8th scale, this is more than enough power for this particular platform. We've got the Hobby Wing Max 6 G2 paired with that motor. Again, you know, I wanted something overpowered just because of the heat that we deal with in Arizona. Yeah, the electronics just, I don't want them overheating. We've got an AGF RC, I think it's a 40 kg servo in here. Let me flip this around. Right off of Amazon. So, yeah, more than enough speed and power for this particular platform. I've got my Radio Link receiver in here. And, yeah, I think that's about it for the electronics, other than added just some cooling fans. I don't think it actually needs it. I've given it a couple rips up and down the street just as a test drive in near 100-degree weather, and the can was lukewarm. So I don't think I need it, but I'm just a little paranoid in Arizona. Everything gets hot really quick. So got these dual 40 mil fans on there to help keep everything cool inside there. Let's see. Let's talk about gearing. Actually, let's talk about the motor mount. So this motor mount is an M2C motor mount for the Max and Maxx Slash. This motor mount is incredible. I think the stock motor mount for the Maxx Slash will only accept up to like a 26, maybe a 27 tooth pinion. And I believe the stock gearing is 25 pinion, 50 spur. Oh no, boys, I've got this thing geared way up. I'm running a 30 tooth pinion and a 46 tooth spur. So this thing is going to scream, again, in just kind of the preliminary testing rips up and down the street. This thing was pulling wheelies the entire time. So I think it's, even though it's geared high, it's more than enough. This motor mount is just absolutely stunning. If you see here, this 7075 aluminum motor mount, and the really cool and well-engineered thing. I'm an engineer in my day job, so engineering I love all the details. Is Mitch over at M2C designed these little towers here that allow the motor mount and the spur mount to be tied together via this carbon fiber plate. So under flex, I guess this particular platform tends to eat spur gears because the spur under flex, the body flexes, and the spur moves away from the pinion, and you get stripping under power. This ties that all together as kind of one unit. So it's really innovative, really cool, and I'm excited to give that a rip. We have this GPM servo adapter, just so I could run standard size servos instead of the typical 5th scale X Max size servos. Going back to M2C, we have the M2C shop caps, and I have the M2C pistons in there as well. I really plan on hucking this thing. This isn't really going to be a ground pounder. This thing's going to be up in the air, so I wanted to make sure I had some really good dampening. What else about this? Let's stick on the M2C theme. With that, I've got the M2C chassis brace along the bottom, just to help stiffen things up when we're sending it way up in the air. Let's see what else we got. We've got these Traxxas shock risers. By default or stock, the Maxx Slash has these risers in the rear only, but given that I wanted to make a monster truck, I also wanted to get them for the front. And the reason I went with the Traxxas ones is because I have the Wide Max kit on here as well. So with the Wide Max kit, the stock shock risers that come with the Maxx Slash do not fit on the Wide Max arms. So Traxxas makes aftermarket ones that work. And there's several other aftermarket ones, but I didn't like those other ones because the Traxxas one is the only one that's double shear. All of the other ones just screw in from one side, so I was afraid, under heavy bashing, those were going to snap. But the Traxxas makes ones that are good for Max arms, Wide Max arms, and they're double shear. So I think this was the most robust option as far as shock risers go. So that took a little bit of research, but we got that sorted out. What else is going on with this thing? Let's see. Wheels and tires. So these Proline, I put on some Proline Badlands 3.8s, and definitely required some body trimming. I'll throw the body back on in a minute. We can talk about it. I actually went ahead and got the alloy hubs for these Proline wheels. I mean, it kind of stinks that your upgrade needs an upgrade, but the plastic ones, they tend to crack. They crack even as you're screwing these in, and I've done these as gently as possible, in a star pattern, and still I've had them crack. So I just went with the metal ones right off the bat. I did install 17 mil hexes from Integi. I think these are off of like an older, like an E-Revo or something. There's some other Traxxas vehicle that they're technically for, but they fit the stub axle for the Max and Maxx Slash. So we got some 17 mil hexes on there. I know Integi has questionable quality, so I'm kind of curious to see how well these hold up. But yeah, we've got 17 mil hexes on there to really try to take the power that we're going to be giving this thing. Rounding out our upgrades, we have the Hot Racing battery straps here. This is a Garage Life RC battery strap that was left over from another project, and it actually just fits perfectly here. So the hot strap that came with the Hot Racing looks kind of questionable. So this Garage Life RC one is, I believe, Kevlar reinforced and just super beefy. So batteries aren't going anywhere. Added some additional padding to the tray here to keep those batteries safe. Cannot forget, I added the sway bars. So I figured we are lifting this Max, and I've seen videos of the Maxx Slash, being prone to roll over as is. So this monster truck is definitely going to want to roll over. So I did add the front and rear sway bars. It's kind of hard to see in there, but there they are. Sway bars front and rear. And I used the stiffest ones in the pack, so I believe the stiffest one is in the rear and the second stiffest one is in the front here, just to try to help to keep this thing from being so tipsy-topsy all the time. And then the Wide Max kit itself comes with stiffer blue springs, and I think you're supposed to move the put the stiffer springs that come in the Wide Max kit on the rear and move the rear springs to the front to stiffen everything up. I just went and ordered another set of blue springs, and so we're running blue springs all the way around. I believe the stock oil weight is 50 in the front and 60 weight in the rear. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But I bumped both front and rear up to 80 weight, and she is plush. Again, I plan on sending this to the moon, so yeah, she is plush. With that 80 weight and those M2C pistons to really slow that rebound down. Overall, I think this thing came out looking really good. I'm super excited to get this thing out and for a rip. I'm probably gonna have to be early in the morning just because it's late June in Arizona currently as this is being filmed, so probably have to get it out early in the morning. But man, I cannot wait to get this out and really see what she can do. Yeah, the last thing I'll say is this is only the second body I've painted, and so as I was painting it, I was pretty discouraged. I know you're supposed to have low expectations for paint jobs in general, but especially using the hand cans, it was not coming out the way I wanted. But in the end, I stuck with it, and you know, once you pull that overcoat, the wrap off, the overspray peel, it looks nicer than I thought it was going to look. So it came out better. I was pretty down on myself. There's a little bit of bleeding between the black and the blue, but overall, no one's going to notice it. And for a super custom look, you know, I think it was worth it. So, you know, I don't really have the patience for painting. I just want to go bash and rip my new toy. But having the custom body is pretty cool. And I did have to cut this way out. These fenders are cut way out. And there's still going to be a little bit of rub, but generally it's not going to rub too bad. And, you know, over time, everything fits. Anyway, thanks for watching. And look forward to the video of this thing on its maiden voyage being sent to the moon. Thanks for watching. God loves you. Peace.